Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Alissa Coram and Ed Carson here. And Ed, we're going to be taking a look at three stocks with compelling chart action. Give us the details.
Yeah, leaderboard named Tesla had a huge day on the last day of the quarter. Meanwhile, there was some bullish action from Lam Research as well as Illumina.
All right, and we'll get to all that, but first let's take a look at the major indexes. This is a chart of the NASDAQ here, which closed up about 1.9% for the day, really strengthening into that last hour of trade. Ed, the S&P 500 up about 1.5%, the Dow up 0.9%. So, I mean, if you just look at this rally, it's pretty incredible how we've seen multiple upside reversals at that 21-day line, a pretty key area that we in-house really like to take a close look at, and it's proven to be a very key level to watch with the NASDAQ once again back above that 10,000 mark.
Back above the 10,000 mark, back above, recapturing all of Friday's losses. I mean, it didn't recapture all of Wednesday's losses, but really, my goodness, you know, every time the stock market has any kind of knock, the market, it just comes right back. It doesn't mean we race to highs, though. You know, we're really not that far now. Just really strong action. It's been really strong all quarter. I mean, basically the quarter started and we had a follow-through day just a few days later, and we've been off to the races ever since.
Yeah, and especially resilient as we've been getting headlines about coronavirus cases surging again. So if you just take a step back and look at some of the action of growth stocks, there have been plenty of buying opportunities along the way, even in the face of perhaps some concerning headlines on the face of them.
Yeah, there's some concerning headlines, but even if there weren't concerning headlines, you would expect the market to have paused a little bit or slowed down, and it just hasn't. The market's going to do what it's going to do.
It is, and so is Tesla. And we saw that stock racing higher today, Ed, up about 7% in heavy turnover. And this action comes after a quote unquote leaked email Monday evening from CEO Elon Musk talking about deliveries and really pushing the team to the finish line that they could turn perhaps a surprise profit. So that sounds pretty good to investors.
Absolutely, and the stock got a little bit of a boost on Monday because it came before the close and really didn't do anything overnight, and then just surged higher today. You know, it was a short consolidation, a little shelf. I mean, if you want to be really aggressive, you can buy this. It's definitely one you have to watch for. It's probably just slightly beyond the 5% chase zone, and given that we're going to get deliveries data in a couple of days, either tomorrow or Thursday or even Friday when the market is closed, I mean, it may be great numbers. It may be, and it may send the market, but you could see a really negative number. But so I would be really hesitant to say people buying it now, but great action. People know that I'm not the biggest fan, but I know, Allie, you're going to be talking to somebody who is perhaps Tesla's biggest fan.
Yeah, he's definitely a big fan, Ross Gerber. He's going to be a part of our investing strategies lineup this month, and that'll air early next week. So definitely it will be interesting to get his thoughts on Tesla. But really quickly, before we move on, you mentioned earnings later this month, and that's typically what we say, you know, you don't want to be buying too close ahead of an earnings report. But I guess this goes to show you with the deliveries numbers coming out sooner than that, you have to really be aware of when these potential catalysts or even things that could be a knock on stocks when you're trying to buy them out of those buy points. And Mike Webster talked on IBD Live about how he was even getting aggressive yesterday. So that very advanced buying action there. But we're talking about all of these advanced strategies every morning on IBD Live, which is pretty incredible to get kind of an inside look at some of these advanced trading strategies, looking at that nitty-gritty chart action.
Yeah, and I just think one thing is that we also talk about different strategies. Some people are more aggressive than others. I'm not that aggressive. I mean, and that's fine. You can do it buying on the breakout and making some small buys here, but Mike is more aggressive, and it's like it's all within the framework of the growth investing strategies that we generally follow here.
Yes, something for everyone. And moving on, let's take a look at Lam Research, LRCX today, gaining about 4.9% above average turnover, clearing a downward sloping trend line here, nearing a proper handle buy point, if you will. And that relative strength line spiking to new high ground, definitely a bullish technical indicator there.
Yeah, we put the blue dot on stocks that have the RS line is at a new high before the stock has broken out. It did technically just for like probably a few seconds get above the official buy point just by a hair and then slip back. Very strong action. Tesla's RS line also at a new high, just very strong. Micron Technology, which is a memory chip maker, they reported strong earnings and guidance, and that's bullish for chip equipment makers like Lam Research that may have exposure to that, and also Xilinx, which hasn't been doing as well. That one also raised guidance. So just really a lot of strong action. Chips were very strong today.
Yes, indeed. And last but not least, let's take a look at Illumina, ILMN. That stock gaining 2.2% today, and it is setting up in a shallow base. Pattern recognition is showing a very long, weird double bottom happening here, but nice to see it really tightening up in this new consolidation.
Yeah, and on a weekly basis, that's going to, I think, show up as a flat chart, so it will show up on pattern rec that way. But the situation here, one reason I wanted to show this is that, yeah, it was a really wild double bottom and really deep. And so you might not want to jump into that. Those are higher risk. I'm not saying they can't work, and you could say, oh, the market crash, yada, yada. But, you could say, oh, that's really not a great looking pattern. But sometimes what you can do is wait for it to set up again, wait for it to set up. And this is an ideal case. Sometimes they just keep running. They don't stop, and you just have to say, well, too bad. But here's a chance. It's calmed down. It's set up nicely, traded a lot more tightly, which was something we like to see. And now maybe an opportunity that as it breaks out, that it might feel a little bit more, the odds are more in your favor.
Exactly. Yeah. Quick rule of thumb. IBD's research shows that stocks that have bases with a depth of 40% or more have an especially higher likelihood of failing. So with this depth being about 48%, definitely something to keep in mind. But I will put a little disclaimer there that hasn't stopped every stock that we saw sell off hard during the correction run back up. But some of those, like you said, didn't really offer a great chance to get in. But Illumina appears to be doing that now, potentially, with this setup.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. That is it for today. Thanks so much for joining us. And the conversation will continue tomorrow morning on IBD Live. We hope you join us there at investors.com/IBD Live. It's where our experts share their screen, talk about actionable stocks, and looking at portfolio strategies, as I'd mentioned, from a variety of perspectives. It's a lot of fun. We do hope you join us tomorrow morning, but that is it for today. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.